Let me go across at this moment to Mr. Yogendra Yadav, one of the petitioners. In fact, the court yesterday, Mr. Yadav presented his arguments himself. The court appreciated the clarity with which Mr. Yadav presented the arguments against this whole exercise and said whether we accept your arguments or not. But thank you for putting this for us. Mr. Yadav, thank you so much for speaking to us. Let me begin by asking you, sir, what do you make of the interim order? Is it half victory, half loss? How do you see this?
I don't see it as any loss either for us or for Election Commission. Ideally, Election Commission should be happy that the voters of India benefit. If they are neutral umpires, if they are fair, Election Commission should be mighty pleased today, which they were not. If it is a loss for those in the media who were misreporting the Supreme Court hearing for the last 2 days. You are a journalist, Ankit. You would remember what the media has been saying for the last 2 days. Supreme Court is fully with the Election Commission. Supreme Court has disregarded Aadhaar. Supreme Court says, all is well. So if there is any defeat, it is a defeat for, allow me to say, Godi media. Now, the significance, the real significance, this is an interim order. And it is interim order part 1. Because interim order part 2 may come on Friday next week. So just for the benefit of our viewers, this is a very large case and the Supreme Court is nowhere close to giving the final order.
Yes.
But before the Supreme Court gives a final order, there is some interim relief which is given. Supreme Court said today that, okay, even the interim will break into 2 parts. First, which concerns the 65 lakh people whose names have been dropped. Second, which they will take up next week. The court assured Prashant Bhushan today, we are definitely going to take it up next week, which is of the remaining, the anomalies in the 7.24 crore people who are on the rolls.
Right.
So it is interim relief part 1. In that sense, it is very limited.
Okay.
But the indications are very, very important. The first indication is Supreme Court insists on transparency. What were we demanding? We were simply saying, Ankit, for the last 2 weeks, you have thrown 65 lakh people out of the voters list. Okay. You say the reasons are very valid. All right, just give us names and give us which name has been deleted for which reason.
Yes.
You are telling us 22 lakh this people have been deleted because they are dead. We were simply saying, please give us the names so that we can check, their families can check. Supreme Court, Election Commission wouldn't do that. Today, after 45 minutes of dragging their feet,
right,
the Election Commission was forced to do that. So that's a transparency. Second major decision of the Supreme Court today is that Aadhaar will be allowed because they are giving this judgment only for 65 lakhs. They said these 65 lakh would be able to approach with Aadhaar. But clearly, as you know, it cannot be that Aadhaar is relevant only for those 65 lakh and not for the 7.24. Okay. The intent of the court was quite clear. So I would say for all practical purposes, the list of 11 has been expanded to include Aadhaar, which is a very major step forward.
Okay, but sir, like you said, at least what we have been reporting here on NDTV, and that is why we wanted you to come. Our endeavor is only to listen and understand the facts. That is what we have been trying to do. Let me understand very quickly from you. You are saying that for these 65 lakh, the interim order says that you can, go and use Aadhaar to try and rectify the problem if anybody is among those 65 lakh voters. Does that mean that Aadhaar has been accepted as the 11th document? Because that is something that the Election Commission says has not happened. It is only for these 65 lakh people that it can be used.
So let me clarify. Technically, as I just said a few seconds ago, technically the entire order today pertains only to the 65 lakh people. So clearly, the Aadhaar order is also about those 65 lakh people. But before that order was passed, there was a detailed discussion in the court. And court clearly point blank asked them, if there is someone who does not have any of these 11 documents and has Aadhaar, can that person not file claim and objection? And the Supreme Court then finally said they must be allowed that way. So the reasoning is general. The order today is only specific, and I cannot imagine how the Supreme Court might say next week that what we said about, because the clear discussion was someone who does not have any of these 11 but has Aadhaar, can that person approach? The answer today was yes. Next week, the answer cannot possibly be no.
So thank you so much for this clarification, because this is something that has been in the discussion. I'm sorry, I wanted to get a little more details with you on this, but I have to shift to a breaking news at this moment. Thank you so much, Mr. Yogendra Yadav.